Now, guys, this was one of the most contentious questions in the 2015 paper. Now, the graph itself doesn't look too bad, but when you actually start breaking it down in terms of what the markers were looking for, you start to see there's a couple of little hiccups along the way. Now, first thing, it says needed to have labeled axis. One of the first problems with this is people fail to realize that Dobson units is actually a units. Even the fact that your time is measured in years, those things were required for actually labeling your axis correctly. In terms of spacing, as we said before, you want to take up probably more than, we'll say, between half to the full size of the graph paper. Now, in order to do that, you do not have to start your years at 0. However, your origin does clearly have to be labelled. Now, as we said, the sample answers are never the greatest answers in the world. You'll see here this point is not marked. I would make sure that I do actually mark my origin. Now, a couple of things, as we said, before you keep going with this graph, I would actually check that you didn't have to extrapolate it. Now, they have marked a little bit to say that this graph could keep going in either direction, but you could also be tempted to just stop at those points. You would not have been marked down. One of the most important things is that you did actually identify that this was going to be a smooth line of best fit. So for all intents and purposes, a curve of best fit. Now, because these 2 points here were pretty much parallel to one another, you had to identify that the bottom point was going to be somewhere below them, so that there wasn't actually in this question a maximum for the bottom. So as a result, you needed to have a nice, clear curve of best fit that was going to join those points as nicely as possible. Now, as we said, if you'd actually gone down and you'd assumed that that was the bottom and not included one of these points, you probably would have been wrong. You had to actually put that curve of best fit in. If you put a straight line of best fit in, you would have been wrong. Okay? Now, it is really important that you include those things in your graph.